What's good, y'all? It is your host, Koios, Rōnin BeatMaker, here with you on another episode of Lounge Rōnin. All things, everything. And on this episode, we're going to be discussing the pop culture woke right versus Star Wars. Now, I've been meaning to cover this, and it's in relation to Disney's Star Wars Andor show and the recent controversy that occurred. And I wanted to talk about, and I've coined this term. We already have the woke right, but I call these guys the pop culture woke right, mainly due to the fact that they are woke right influencers who use pop culture as a way to disseminate their insecurities and ignorance and issues regarding pop culture, films, comics, TV shows, whatever. And so, it's mostly about monetizing hate and grifting off very low vibrational, low functioning individuals who are pretty much have been enveloped into this hive mentality. And these woke right grifters, they're beginning to eat each other. Their audiences are beginning to eat them. Their audiences are losing interest. The well is drying up on this grift. And I wanted to cover the incident that happened in Andor with the sexual assault and how it pretty much just exposes these pop culture woke right for essentially just being charlatans, grifters. They don't know anything about pop culture, and they don't even really believe half of the things that they say. They just say it to continue to monetize their way of life. And it seems to me that it's just not paying off as well. So I want to get right into discussing specifically what's been going on. And we're going to start with the as YouTube and the pop culture sphere likes to put it, the preeminent Star Wars expert. And here we have, if you're not familiar with him, StarWarsTheory. Like I said, he is the preliminary expert on all things Star Wars. And so what happened was, in Andor, there was a scene where a Imperial officer attempted to sexually assault a woman who's working on a farm and just happens to not be a legal resident of the planet. People were complaining about, oh my God, illegal immigration, and you're mirroring what's going on in our real world. And these are the experts. As if George Lucas did not say that his first film was based off of the Vietnam War. But anyways, he says here, sexual assault in Star Wars feels unnecessary. You can portray power dynamics and making the audience hate the Empire in other ways without taking it to such a disgusting place. Vader wouldn't tolerate that shit, nor does the Empire condone it. It has no place in Star Wars, period. and this is what I'm saying. Like when I saw that, I was like, oh, okay, so he doesn't really understand Star Wars. And you might look at me and be like, um, hold on, guys, I just gotta fix something. No, good lord. What's it? All right, we're done. So, this is something that was really foolish to me to see because it just clearly shows you he doesn't know anything about Star Wars, like at all. And he's part of the pop culture woke right community. Well, he's been newly inducted with Nerderotic and Yellow Flash, that Star Wars girl who doesn't even know Star Wars either. We'll get to her. Don't worry, we'll get to her in a minute. Um, the Quartering, Midnight's Edge. You've seen the thumbnail, WD Pro. All these pop culture woke right grifters who just monetize hate, bigotry, racism, film threat. They're all part of. They're all two sides of the same coin. And he posted this on April 23rd. This is when that episode came out. And let's see how his community took his response. Chris here says, "Bro, I love your content, but the Empire wouldn't tolerate it. Come on." Fi says, "I'm a mature audience. I'm sick of all the baby stories. This is good, more compelling and believable." Yeah, this one, Darth Spall. Yeah, because Vader knows what every single imp across the galaxy is doing. It's a man of power on an outer rim planet trying to take advantage of his power. That's what happens. Jabba the Hutt had sex slaves. This one says, "What blood thinks. Vader when you kill civilians. Vader when you sexually assault people." So his own community is cooking him. They were cooking him. Um, because we're talking about a show about a fascist empire that was up until this moment committing mass ethnic cleansings on a planetary scale, um, child trafficking, human trafficking, um, human exploitation through slavery, um, penal armies. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And so it's funny that he would think that Palpatine would care about anything of that. I mean, this is Palpatine. This is the same man who killed innocent people, right? I mean, this is the same guy who literally caused a galactic civil war that killed billions of innocent lives. So yeah, of course, he'll start an interplanetary war that kills billions of lives. He'll activate a Death Star that will wipe out an entire planet. But sexual assault is where he draws the line. Like, and this is what's problem with the pop culture woke right community is that they're not really intelligent people. But during the lockdowns and during Biden administration, and they were pushing all the nonsense in the entertainment industry, this gave them an opportunity to capitalize and market off of it. And Star Wars Theory is the latest guy to hop on the bandwagon. He's just a little late to the show. And he's just not a very intelligent person. He clearly doesn't understand Star Wars. I mean, this is the same guy who literally had Freddie Prinze Jr., the voice actor of Kanan Jarrus in Rebels, explain to him what the Force is. And even after Freddie Prinze Jr. explained it to him, he was still confused. So why are we going to take advice from someone who's going to tell you that Vader would not tolerate sexual assault, but he literally killed a bunch of innocent kids inside a temple. The first introduction we meet of Vader, he nearly kills a guy just for talking back and speaking his mind. But sexual assault is where he draws the line, right? After he massacred, come on, like, this is why you cannot take these people seriously. And his own community just cooked him for it. Cooked him. They just cooked him for it. So I want to continue on, right? We're gonna dive into it, right? And this is how bad it's gone for this boy, okay? And I like this. All right, the myth of consensual sex. I consent, I don't. Isn't there somebody you forgot to ask? Like, and this is where we're at. Like, he, in his mind, you would first have to ask Vader to have sex with a woman before you can do anything. Like, and to him to think that we're talking about a galactic civil war against an imperial fascist regime, like I said, that was working with criminal underground syndicates to traffic people. The Imperial Empire literally gave the Trandoshans free reign on Kashyyyk to go onto the planet, kidnap Wookiees, skin them alive, trade them as slaves, and do all sorts of heinous things. And part of the reason why I wanted to bring this up is because this is also why these people don't understand pop culture. Because if he was someone who was self-aware and understood pop culture and understood Star Wars, he would then understand that Star Wars is based upon real-world historical events, battles, cultural events. So, to act like, oh, well, this wouldn't happen in Star Wars, right? The name of it is called Star Wars, and you're gonna tell me that sexual assaults don't happen during wars? What happened at Guantanamo Bay? What happened in Iraq with that female soldier? Are we really gonna pretend as if the United States military? Look what's going on in Okinawa right now. We're not even in war. Why are we still even on Okinawa? The Pacific Theater ended. And right now, it's these sexual assaults on Okinawa by American military personnel is so bad that now the military police, in conjunction with the Okinawa police, have to now start patrolling military bases and areas outside military bases because of how badly sexual assault cases are going on, perpetrated by American soldiers. But no. That doesn't happen in a space fantasy opera called Star Wars, where the first introduction to everyone to this, well, the first introduction to this universe, we see an entire planet get vaporized. This is the level of intelligence people are dealing with. It's embarrassing. It's absolutely embarrassing. And they support these people. They buy their content. They sit there and watch this stuff. But not this time. Because our boy here, he didn't realize.
The tweet was like, I don't think that
he ain't on the right memo. And right here, I want you to show. I'm really glad this is here because I'm so glad. So this guy right here, the critical drinker. All right, this is a man who prides himself on criticizing films and television shows. So much so that he made his own short film that was critically panned and hated so much so that he had to make a video critiquing the critiques of his movie. This is also the same man, the critical drinker right here, This is also the same man that during an interview with a Japanese film podcast, the Japanese host asked him what was his favorite Japanese film, and you know what he said? He said, Old Boy, which is a Korean film. This here, The Critical Drinker. This is a man who's been on Pierce Morgan. He's been on Trigonomics. This is their expert. This is an expert on pop culture. Okay? All right. This guy's Mahler. He's very different. He's no different than The Critical Drinker, but he doesn't do his own content, his own films or anything. He just will do these hour-long autistic breakdowns of things he doesn't like and explain why they're bad and he doesn't like them, and it's, very nonsensical stuff. Star Wars Theory right here. Now this guy, Chris Gore, he's the host of Film Threat, and he's an independent film critic. Right. This guy right here, okay, he has the exact same opinion as Star Wars Theory. I watched his 8-minute video where he said the exact same thing as Star Wars Theory. All right. I don't know who these two people are. This one, Sarah J. Okay, so that's a new future performer. Great. So this guy right here has the exact same opinion as Star Wars Theory. Now, I want you to see what happens when Star Wars Theory opens his mouth and says his opinion.
My argument in my tweet was like, I don't think that if Vader saw some shit like that happening, I don't think he would leave it unchecked. I don't think he would walk by.
Like, Vader's opinions on this wouldn't be relevant, right?
He's still Anakin at the end of the day, and Anakin wouldn't stand for that shit.
No, but it's just not relevant. Like, why would Vader's opinion matter here?
I just don't think that that's something that the Empire would be cool with if they actually saw it. I don't think it
I think the Empire wouldn't give a shit about the people that they're subjugating and murdering in mass levels and enslaving. I don't think they would
maybe
care.
the Empire as a whole, but I don't think Palpatine and Vader are like, oh,
Palpatine and
good.
Vader aren't
This guy
watching
raped
the guy,
or
are they?
Imperial
I think,
raped the
like,
woman.
in terms of like whatever rules of engagement these Empire officials have, like it would be against the rules, but then like that doesn't mean a whole lot when you're on some podunk farm planet at the end of nowhere.
You're gonna get
no
some
one really
piece of
watching
shit.
you. Like that's that's the point that they're making here. It's like, okay, when you've got no real oversight and you've essentially got unlimited power over this little community or whatever, what are guys like that going to do? Are they going to take advantage of it for their own gratification? They probably are. Yeah,
guys do that every day. My argument in my tweet was like, I don't think that if Vader saw some shit like that happening, I don't think he would leave it unchecked. I don't think he would walk by.
Like, Vader's opinions on this wouldn't be relevant, right?
He's still Anakin at the end of the day, and Anakin wouldn't stand for that shit.
No, but it's just not relevant. Like, why would Vader's opinion matter here?
I just don't think that that's something that the Empire would be cool with if they actually saw it. I don't think it
I think the Empire wouldn't give a shit about the people that they're subjugating and murdering in mass levels and enslaving. I don't think they would
maybe
care.
the Empire as a whole, but I don't think Palpatine and Vader are like, oh,
Palpatine and
good.
Vader aren't
This guy
watching the guy, are
raped
they?
or Imperial
I think,
raped the
like,
woman.
in terms of like whatever rules of engagement these Empire officials have, like it would be against the rules, but then like that doesn't mean a whole lot when you're on some podunk farm planet at the end of nowhere.
You're gonna get
no
some
one really
piece of
watching
shit.
you. Like that's that's the point that they're making here. It's like, okay, when you've got no real oversight and you've essentially got unlimited power over this little community or whatever, what are guys like that going to do? Are they going to take advantage of it for their own gratification? They probably are. Yeah,
guys do that every day.
Now, notice at the end, he ends up agreeing with them. But what I wanted you to notice is Chris Gore here didn't say a single word. He didn't say a goddamn thing. You want to know why? Because he knows they're right. And he knows he has the exact same thought as StarWarsTheory. And this is a film critic, an independent film critic. He's been in the game for 30 years. Okay? These are the people that are the pop culture YouTubers. All right, this is what you're working with. And even here, it's funny. People like are very self-aware of this, and it says here, what is the world coming to when TCD and Mahler are voices of reason in a conversation? I feel like I'm in an opposite world. And he said, this guy responds with, Mahler is a fairly reasonable, not gonna lie. He doesn't hate stuff just to hate or because of identity politics, and has actual standards. I would be a little bit debatable on that. I've seen some of his videos. He kind of just to hate, to be honest. He does. But I wanted to show you this because it really just exposes the hypocrisy of these people. And like I said, the lack of any real understanding of the lore and universes they claim to care about. It's pretty funny. And then here is it. Yeah. So right here, that Star Wars girl, okay? She's called that Star Wars girl because she's an expert in all things Star Wars. She goes here, watched Andor season 2, and yep, it's real. An Imperial officer tries to sexually assault Bix, using the power dynamic that she's an illegal and he can deport her. It's beyond fucking retarded, and it doesn't belong in Star Wars. So I want you to show something. She says that this type of behavior does not belong in Star Wars. Okay, it doesn't belong in Star Wars. Okay, she says it doesn't belong in Star Wars. Okay, where is it? Here. What's this? This is from Clone Wars. Clone Wars, I don't know, season 3, 4. This came out like 15 years ago. Look at this.
Little skinny, isn't she? Oh.
You saw that? Let me show you again.
Little skinny, isn't she? Oh.
That's Ahsoka Tano, Anakin's Padawan. In this scene, she's 15 years old. That's Bo-Katan, who in this scene is like, I don't know, in her early 30s? Look.
Little skinny, isn't she? Oh.
But, yeah. But, sexual assault never happens in Star Wars, right? So this person right here, we're not even going to get into it, but he pretty much put a collage of look, right here, look. Sex trafficking. Here. Look, sex trafficking.
Waiting there is a sub-trap, which is carrying very precious cargo.
And what is this precious cargo?
That's none of your concern.
Welcome. Finally, my bride.
Bride.
Waiting.
Right there. Sex trafficking. That girl was supposed to be sold off to that king to be his new concubine. But this girl right here, that Star Wars girl, she gonna tell you she knows Star Wars. She gonna tell you that stuff doesn't exist in Star Wars. These are the pop culture influencers. So let's go here, right? So I just showed you that, right? I just showed you she don't know what she's talking about. She don't know Star Wars. Okay. Now here's a clip from the Critical Drinker, who essentially, which I think is funny because, like I said, these people are eating their own. They actually don't even agree anymore. They used to be on a consensus. Now they be calling each other out on their stupidity, and then sometimes making videos about each other, but not really directly acknowledging each other. It's pretty pathetic. But here, take a look.
It's a well-shot, well-acted scene that's suitably violent and hard-hitting, and to make it clear, Bix is able to fight him off before he can actually do anything, but people are absolutely losing their shit over it anyway. And who can blame them? After all, Star Wars has always been about wholesome family entertainment. Seriously though, I don't think you can really demand a gritty and mature Star Wars show and then pitch a hissy fit when it gives you exactly what you asked for. The reality is that bad stuff like this happens in war, and just because Andor had the balls to actually show it for what it was, doesn't mean it wasn't going on throughout the galaxy already. It's a well-shot, well-acted scene that's suitably violent and hard-hitting, and to make it clear, Bix is able to fight him off before he can actually do anything, but people are absolutely losing their shit over it anyway. And who can blame them? After all, Star Wars has always been about wholesome family entertainment. Seriously though, I don't think you can really demand a gritty and mature Star Wars show and then pitch a hissy fit when it gives you exactly what you asked for. The reality is that bad stuff like this happens in war, and just because Andor had the balls to actually show it for what it was, doesn't mean it wasn't going on throughout the galaxy already.
You see what I mean? Like I think you're getting the point. She calls herself that Star Wars girl. All right, she claims that she knows Star Wars. She's like, I know everything about Star Wars. She even said, right, they even would rationalize Leia and say that's not sexual assault. So kidnapping a woman, stripping her naked, putting her in an inappropriate outfit, chaining her up to a man that he can, to a giant slug that can fondle her, is not sexual assault. This is the level of retardation that we're dealing with. And that's why I tell people you can't take these people seriously. They're not intelligent enough to take seriously. But that again, their audience, who they cater to and they know are not that intelligent themselves. But guess what? They're starting to wake up as well. They have started to waken up as well. Even in here, look. Here. Genocide is fine. And this is that Star Wars girl's quotes. Genocide is fine. Anakin executing Order 66 on children off screen is fine. Executing them. Darth Vader snapping a teen's neck is also fine, which he did do in front of his mother after he killed his father, mind you. But no, let's all pretend like we're jumping circus acts because a show suddenly recognizes one of the biggest problems, the war, other than murder, and get mad when it's showcased. And then here's the thing. They're like, oh, you're saying that, who was it? Was it Yellow Flash? No, it was Midnight's Edge. They were complaining because it was Film Threat. Yeah, they were Film Threat. They were complaining, why'd you make her an immigrant? We don't want real world things in our Star Wars. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, what the fuck do you think Star Wars, the original one, was based off of? Literally, George Lucas named Newt Gunray after Newt Gingrich. This is the level of stupid these people are. They will tell you George Lucas's Star Wars is better, but they don't even know the history of that Star Wars, of George Lucas's Star Wars. Because they don't know the world. These people don't know anything about the world. They're not very articulate people. And even the things that they do know, they can't even articulate in a manner that people can actually fucking believe what they're saying because they're so full of shit. Her own audience is looking at it. Like right here, it's almost like the franchise has shown that the powerful will use sexual exploitation to their advantage. But I guess when you make your entire brand on fake outrage, you gotta find something to go pretend doesn't belong in the franchise built around unpacking fascism. See, this is what I mean. Their own community is calling them out on this. And they'll tell you this isn't sexual assault. Kidnapping a woman, stripping her naked, putting her in an outfit, and chaining her up right onto your body like that. So if I were to do that right now, just kidnap a woman, put her in a bikini, chain her up, take a video of her close to me, that's not sexual assault. Like right here, look, bruh, you're an adult. Why are you upset that a show has adult topics? Go watch Rebels. So here's a show, right, called Andor, about the formation of the Rebel Alliance and the sparks of rebellion that were caused due to the Galactic Empire's fascist dictatorial authoritarianism that led to billions imprisoned, murdered, trafficked, and executed. The Nazi regime, the Mongol Empire, the Spanish Inquisition. Do we have to do the Vietnam War? Really? The Iraq War, Yemen, Libya. Really? Somalia. Do I have to keep going? Is it like, what are we doing here? So this is the level of intelligence these people have. That's why, I encourage you to please do not take these people seriously. Do not. Because they don't even know what the hell they're talking about. And so, okay, so then Tony Gilroy, who the creator of the show, he finally come down and says why he included this scene. And this is what he says. I mean, let's be honest, man. The history of civilization, there's a huge arterial component of it that's sexual assault. All of us who are here, we are all the product of sexual assault. That's debatable. I mean, armies in power throughout history have committed sexual assault. To not touch on it in some way, it just was organic and felt right. Coming about as a power trip for this guy. I was really trying to make a path for Bix that would ultimately lead to clarity, but a difficult path to get back to clarity. Now, here's the thing that they also, they're complaining about why they make an illegal immigrant. Because when the empire came into power, they created chain codes. And this is how stupid these people are. And even that Star Wars girl made this comment. Film Thread, they all made this comment. I'm like, y'all are stupid. Literally stupid. You want to know why? Because if you watched Clone Wars, or if you watched the Book of Boba Fett, they explained chain codes. And the chain code was a new Imperial Galactic Empire Universal ID that let them know that you were a legal Imperial citizen. And if you did not have that, they would, I don't know, what's it called? Deport your ass. And he's on a backwater planet, which probably is now beginning to get occupied by the Empire. And he's using the fact that she's illegal to his advantage, which I don't know. Wasn't that happening down the border? Isn't there 350,000 children missing right now that the Border Patrol were responsible for? Oh, but that's not, we don't want that in our reality, right? Like in Rebels, when the Empire was purposely kidnapping Force-sensitive children and killing their families so they could train them to be dark acolytes. That's okay. All right, got it. So you really, you gotta, people out there, you gotta stop supporting their content. You gotta stop supporting it. It ain't no good for you. It ain't no good. It's not doing you any good. It's a waste of your intelligence, waste of your time. So I wanted to come on here and just cover that, and just talk about the stupidity of these people, and the fact that they don't know anything about pop culture. They don't know anything about history. They don't know how life imitates art. Jesus. Oh my Lord. All right, these people, they monetize off of hate. They're still doing videos on Rachel Zegler, who was the lead of the Snow White film. They trying to cancel this girl, and she's still getting work. They were like, "Oh, this movie's gonna tank. Why do we have she's not white enough. What are we doing?" Oh, I'm like, man, this is what they do. Literally. So, I'm just saying, stop supporting these people. Their content is not good for you. It's negative. It's unhealthy. All right. It's going to make you stupid. And you're just wasting your life, honestly. But I just want to get my thoughts on that, get it out. It's been on my mind for a minute, and oh yeah, I can't stand these people and their nonsense. But if you made it this far, I appreciate it. Make sure to hit that like button and leave a comment with your thoughts below. Let me know what you think about all this nonsense. And please make sure to share this stream. It will help the channel grow. And that like button. And don't forget to subscribe. And until next time, stay positive, stay focused, stay true, and much love.